thank you for joining me on this not so joyous occasion as we say goodbye to all the plants that I've lost in 2019. Some of them, I admit, I purposely let die, and others just didn't want to live in my care no matter how much I loved them. In all seriousness though, I mean, nobody is gonna have a perfect green thumb. No matter how many plants you see people have in YouTube or Instagram, I can guarantee that they have killed a handful of plants. It's just a part of plant parenthood, and this is all a learning curve, and we all just have to learn to care for each of our plants in different ways. The first plant I said goodbye to in 2019 is a spider plant, which is really ironic because I always loved spider plants. I even had one when I was 14 that I may or may not have killed. So at the start of the summer, I had 4 little babies that I was trying to propagate, and 3 of them just never did anything and died. And the last one was a fighter. He eventually, after 2 months in water, sprouted some roots. In hindsight, I just don't think I gave him enough bright light, I guess. And one day I came home and it was on the floor and those roots were gone because my cat had eaten it and I guess played with it a little bit. In all honesty, I gave up on the plant because I was over it. It was taking way too long for 3 little roots to grow, and every time it did, my cat got to it, no matter where I put it. Rest in peace, dear spider plant. I don't think I'll try again. The next plant I put to rest, well, more likely gave away, but I'm pretty sure it's dead now, is a Peperomia Ginny. My mom had gotten a big bushy one from a grocery store, and I fell in love with it instantly. I mean, how could you not? They're really beautiful plants. And so she gave me one of the babies, and I took it home, put it in my windowsill, and it just didn't do anything for 6 months, easily 6 months. Meanwhile, my mom's had doubled in size. It had started flowering. It was loving life. So naturally, I thought I just didn't have enough sunlight, even though you're on my windowsill in a west-facing window. It didn't even attempt to grow a leaf. So I gave it away to one of my friends, and I think it died. Not really sure what the status is on the plant currently. Kind of bummed about that because I really love that plant. I go to my mom's house and I admire it, and then I curse at it because it just didn't love me back. Next, we have a plant that I will never own again, and I know it's not just me because so many people struggle with this plant, and it is a string of pearls. Let me know if you have been personally victimized by a string of pearls, because I know I have on more than one occasion. So the same friend that I gave my Peperomia to has a beautiful lush string of pearls, and she does amazing with them, and I don't know why. So when she first got it, she gave me some cuttings, and I killed those literally in less than a week. They just rotted away, literally turned to mush. So then she propagated some for me, and it just had like this beautiful root system, and gave them to me, and I potted them up in this cute little terracotta pot, as you can see here. It was just so cute. I was asking so many people for tips, and I wasn't watering it until the little pearls started to shrivel up, and every time I watered it, a pearl would just die. And I was getting really irritated. I mean, what do you want from me? What? Do you not want me to water you ever? Should I only give you like a drop of water? Is that what you want? Because I'll do that for you. So I got to a point where I was just over the plant. It was honestly it was irritating me, and I couldn't figure out the care requirements, so I was doing a plant swap with somebody else, and I thought, you know, maybe this plant will do better in her care because clearly it doesn't want me. And when I went to unpot it, the roots were gone. Completely gone. Just not even shriveled up, not even dried up. It was just gone. Like this beautiful extensive root system that was created in water was gone. And it was like I just had planted cuttings in there. And after that, I got so mad. So mad. So never owning a string of pearls ever again. So while I was poking fun at those other plants that I lost, these last three I'm going to tell you about I'm really kind of bummed about. The first one being air plants. We've had two in this house. The first one was a Xerographica, which, I mean, these air plants are beautiful. They just get so big and the foliage is insane. My mom has one that just loves her house, even though her house is really dry and apparently they like humidity. And I thought, if she could do it, I could do it. So I gave it a try. I found one and it was on clearance for $5 because it was a little beat up, which, I mean, in hindsight could have been the reason why it died, but somehow it had just rotted away. The second air plant also rotted away, and that one I was even more sad about because it was a Christmas present for my daughter. She saw it at Lowe's and really wanted it, and so I put it in her stocking and she loved it so much. She's like, "Mom, I'm not gonna do what you did. Mine is gonna live and mine is gonna grow. You're not gonna water it, I'm gonna water it." Okay. She did. She watered it once a week. And I told her to leave it upside down so it could dry, and she did that, and it was here on the windowsill, and it rotted too. And I don't know why, and it just broke my little mom heart because she was so bummed. She loved that plant so much. So I don't know what it is. Air plants just don't like my house. The second plant I was really bummed about losing is my variegated string of hearts. Granted, this really wasn't a plant. It was more so a rooted cutting with only 3 leaves on the strand. I really wanted it to live, and once again, I don't know what went wrong here. I feel like I might have underwatered it, but it didn't grow, ever. And eventually the leaves just shriveled up and died. But that one I am going to try again, and I am looking for a fuller, better pot in 2020, and I think I'll do much better with it. I hope. Final plant that I lost in 2019 and is easily the one that I am most upset about is my polka dot plant. So my polka dot plant was the second plant that I have gotten right before I started collecting, and it was given to me by my sister-in-law. She came to visit us and went to the grocery store and came back with this plant. And we both thought it was a trailing plant because it was in a basket and it was wilted and it was leggy. So it definitely looked like a trailing plant. And I watered it and it came back to life, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool plant. And it was doing fine for a while. Then one day it just got infested with bugs, and I don't know what kind of bugs it is. I really don't remember what they look like. I kind of feel like maybe it was like a bad gnat infestation. I'm not really sure though. It could have been spider mites, actually. I think it was spider mites now that I think about it, because I remember seeing webbing. Anyways, I took some cuttings because it was disgusting. Like, even thinking about it now gives me chills. So I took some cuttings from the top of the plant and I threw the rest out. And they were doing great. They were propagating great. I would put them in soil, pinch it back, propagate the parts that I pinched back, put it back in the plant. So I was working on like having a nice full plant, and I made a cool time lapse about it, and they were just living their life. And one day I had them on my windowsill and I noticed that they needed water. And then the next day they were dead. I hadn't realized I had gone like that long without watering it. So when I went to go finally water it, they had just shriveled up and died, obviously. And I'm still really bummed about that because like that was gonna be my comeback plant and it was doing so well. And sadly I just forgot to water it, and RIP to my beautiful polka dot plant. Then my sister-in-law came again and visited us and asked about the plant. I'm so sorry, I tried and it just died. So Planned Parenthood it's hard sometimes because no matter how much we love a plant and no matter how much we meet its care requirements, sometimes they just don't want to live. They get ravaged by our animals, and other times we just forget to water them. And it all just ends up being valuable learning lessons. And I think the most valuable one that I learned is I'm never owning a string pearls again. Thank you all for joining me down memory lane of the plants I no longer own. I'd love to know what plant you killed in 2019 and help me feel a little better. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more houseplant related content. It really also helps my channel out a lot. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!